Have you ever felt like you're just fighting an invisible battle with yourself? You know, like some internal force is constantly draining your energy, stirring up drama, and just keeping you completely stuck? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on that hidden energy thief. And more importantly, we're going to give you the tools to finally reclaim your peace. All right, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off by identifying this energy thief. Then we'll get into the two selves that are basically at war inside of us. After we break down the ego's playbook, we'll explore a really practical path to peace. And I'm even going to hand you a toolkit so you can start taking back the reins like today. You know that feeling, right? Of being drained, caught in the same old loop, or even sabotaging your own happiness? It's something pretty much all of us go through. The source material we're digging into today makes a powerful case that this isn't just bad luck. No, it's a very real internal conflict, and it has a very specific source. I mean, really think about it for a second. How much of your daily stress isn't from some actual physical threat, but from the stories you're telling yourself? You know, the anxiety is about what might happen or replaying arguments from last week. That is the battleground. That's where our precious energy gets stolen. And this is where the two sides of that battle really come into focus. The source says we're basically two energetic beings walking side by side. On one hand, you have your true self. Its whole deal is love, generosity, connection, harmony. But then, walking right alongside it, you've got the ego. And its fuel? Fear, scarcity, control, and of course, drama. So let's get a better handle on this. What exactly is the second self, this ego? The source material offers up a definition that is just incredibly vivid and powerful. A parasitic annex. Wow. Think about that image. It's not you. It's an attachment. It's this sticky shadow that literally survives by feeding on your most intense emotions, especially the negative ones. It doesn't just like drama, it needs it to live, while your true self wants absolutely nothing to do with it. Okay, so this is the crucial part. How does this thing actually operate in our daily lives? Because it is a master of disguise. Its main goal, its only goal really, is to generate energy for itself. And it does that by creating conflict and drama, often right in the middle of our most important relationships. Here is one of its sneakiest moves, disguising control as an act of service. Think about it. We've all seen it. The person who does everything for someone else, not out of pure love, but so they can hold it over their head later. The ego is the part of you that keeps a running tally. It's the voice that says, I did this for you, so now you owe me. It's business, a transaction, masquerading as love. Now, to keep itself relevant, the ego absolutely loves to play two main roles. It switches between them constantly. First, there's the victor, all self-righteous, puffing itself up by making other people feel small. And then there's the victim, generating sympathy and outrage by complaining about how unfair the world is. Sound familiar? We all get stuck in these two stories. They are the ego's favorite playgrounds. This is the blunt, hard truth at the very center of this whole idea. The vast majority of our suffering isn't from real-world crises. It's from what the source calls domestic dramas. You know, the stories we invent, the worst-case scenarios we obsess over, all happening inside our heads, while we're physically safe and the fridge is full. So, if the problem is in our heads, what's the fix? The source gives an answer that is so refreshingly direct. It's not about some complex spiritual journey or ascending to another dimension. Nope, it's about getting your hands dirty right here in the real world. I just love this. It cuts through so much noise. It's like, before you worry about connecting with the universe, can you connect with your partner? Before you try to manifest $1 million, have you balanced your checkbook? Real, lasting change begins with the tangible stuff right in front of your face. So here's the game plan it lays out. A simple 3-step process. First, your body. It's the only vehicle you've got for this ride, so take care of it. Second, your house, your immediate environment. Clean it up, organize it. A tidy space really does help create a tidy mind. And third, your relationships. Take ownership, stop pointing fingers, and that brings us to a super practical toolkit. Like, what do you do in the heat of the moment?
when you can feel yourself spiraling into that anxious, angry place where the ego lives. The source says, don't just think your way out of it. You have to act your way out. Check out these wonderfully simple physical hacks. You feel that dense, heavy energy building up from the ego? Shake it off. I mean, literally. Clap your hands together hard or jump up and down on your heels. Another great one, personify it. Give your ego a funny little name. That creates separation, and it lets you look at it in the eye and say, hey, be quiet.
And this gets us to maybe the most important point of all, the power of one. You don't need some massive 10-year self-improvement plan to get started. All you need is one. One small action. Clean one drawer. Make one healthy choice for lunch. Take one deep breath and decide not to send that angry text. That single action, that is where your freedom really begins.
Okay, let's tie this all together. Getting what the ego is and how it works, that's step one. But the real change, the real transformation, that comes from taking consistent, conscious action to choose your true self instead of getting sucked into the drama. Now, that quote is harsh, I know, but it's such a critical reminder. Our mental chaos is not a free ride. All that stress, all that anger, all that anxiety, your body pays the price. The ego's drama is literally damaging the machine. So managing your mind isn't just some fluffy spiritual practice. It is fundamental to your physical health. And really, that's what it all boils down to. The ego is an addict, and its drug of choice is drama. But you do not have to show up to every performance it puts on. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What story, what argument, what little worry is your ego feeding on right now? And what one simple, practical thing are you going to do to just walk away and choose peace instead?